Day. Oh, hey, what's up, guys? What? The headlights on the truck are ugly? Yeah, they're hideous. Let's do something about it. High five. Yeah, that's good. Just come. Yeah, forward. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, thumbs up. Yep. Little more. Yeah. Yep, a little more. Perfect. Turn it off. Bro, unnecessary. Diesel dad. More like diesel dick. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by the channel, Diesel Dad 67. Today, we're going to be talking about the 2016 F250 Super Duty. We're going to remove the headlights, separate the lens, color match the housing inside, reseal them up, slap them back on the truck. It's going to make it look a lot better. This is just one of many things I'm doing to this truck. This is the first video I'm making. So let's have some fun. All right, follow along. I'll do a nice how-to, step-by-step, make it easy for you. Let's begin. All right, the first thing you'll need to do is remove the grill. You'll just need a 10mm ratchet and a long flathead screwdriver to pull the tabs apart on the bottom of the grill. I'm gonna walk you through it. All right, there are 4 10mm bolts on the top. Remove those. All right, once you have those 4 bolts removed in the grill, you'll be able to pull the grill back just enough to see these tabs down here. I'm gonna point them out. Kind of hard to see, but easy to get to. This is where you're gonna want your long flathead screwdriver. If you look closely, get a better angle for you. This little tab right here, push it down, and it'll pop right out. There's 1. 2, you'll hear a metallic click when it unhooks. 3, that was my ratchet I dropped in here earlier. 4, 5. Once you disconnect those 5 clips, or just unlock the tab, it'll want to fall down, so make sure you're holding on to it. All right, from there, those tabs are disconnected. Your 4 bolts on top are disconnected. Should be able to pull it right off. Nice and easy. Set it aside so you don't step on anything. All right, now that the grill is removed, we have access to all the bolts we need to get the headlights off, and I'll walk you through it. Really fast, it'll probably be another video. I'm gonna show you guys how to remove the Ford emblem. It's the big 12-inch one. I see a lot of people on the internet doing this, and they're breaking these things. You can take this thing off without breaking it multiple times. I actually wrapped this one, but I'm probably gonna pull the wrap off and color match it because the white is brighter than that paint. I have the platinum white paint. It's not hard. Removing that grill you saw was very fast, and that's all you need to do to save that emblem. All right, it's time to remove the headlights. There are 4 10mm bolts. 1, which you're probably not gonna be able to see from the video, but right about in line with my screwdriver. 9 times out of 10, when you're using an extension, which you'll need to get that off, you're gonna drop the bolt. It'll just hit the bumper and fall on the ground most likely. If not, probably hook on the inside of the bumper. Take a look. Sometimes you get lucky and you get it out. But there's that one. 1 right there, 1 right there, and 1 on top right here, and that's it. All right, now that we got the bolts out, we're gonna go ahead and remove the headlight housing. Should just pull right out. There's usually some tabs in the back side of it that are attached to the fender. They just pull right out, not hard. You're gonna have your 3 connectors right here. Go ahead and remove those. One, two, three. You should be able to pull your headlight right out. Have a nice workbench. I use this yoga mat. Makes it really convenient. I'm not worried about scratching anything. Once you go ahead and get that removed, you're going to pull each of these out by turning them. This one's actually a grommet, but these ones will just turn out. You want to get rid of those because we're going to put these in the oven. And really you want to get up all metallic clips, anything that could melt in the oven if yours has it. I'll go through this one and show you guys. Okay, you want to go ahead and remove all your headlight bulbs just by turning them. Careful not to ruin them or touch the lenses on anything. The bulb, I mean. All right, we should look like that. I'm gonna remove this metal tab. I just don't want to risk it getting hot and melting. It's gonna need a small flathead screwdriver for that. All right, it's pretty simple. These kind of have like a inverted metal prongs on them. You kind of see sticking out. They just push on and off. Just get your screwdriver under there and just pry it off carefully. It should be fine. Okay, you have your 3 lights removed. You have a little metal prong removed. Right here, this is for adjusting your headlight. You're just gonna leave that on. There's a tool that goes in there and it turns the headlight to adjust the beams. We won't do anything with that right now. Okay, go ahead and set your headlight on a workbench, something clean. I recommend wiping this thing down, spraying it off, and then drying it off really good. You don't want dirt or anything like that getting in your oven or just making the job worse than it needs to be. So clean your headlights before you do the process of taking it apart in the oven. At that point, you can go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side. One thing I forgot to mention, make sure you put your bulbs in or leave them in when you wash your headlights. That way it seals it up. You can get water all over them. It'll be fine as long as you don't have any leaks. All right, I just rinsed them off the hose, kind of wiped everything down as best I could, and I'm just gonna use the air gun and kind of blow out inside the seams, get any crap out of there. All right, we're gonna set our temperature to 275. Put that one up. All right, I'm gonna walk you guys through a few things. Let me zoom out. But something you wanna do before you put this in the oven, kind of identify where your tabs are, right? So there's like little tabs on here that help secure this housing when you're putting it back together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6. Anyhow, you're gonna need to pull those away when it's hot. The reason why I'm showing you guys this now is any video I see on the internet, they're kind of showing you while they're trying to work on it, and you're not seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be hot, and you're gonna want to work fast. So, also being hot, you're gonna want to wear gloves. The pink is all I had, guys. Sorry. I'm gonna rock it though. Yeah. So as soon as this thing comes out of the oven, we're gonna put it at 275 for 10 minutes. I'm immediately gonna come out here and probably throw an extra towel down on my little work area. Another pink thing. I'm pretty sure I'm stealing things from my wife. It's all right. Yeah, so I'm gonna throw it on here. I'm gonna immediately start working the corners and the edges with multiple different screwdrivers. They have some spreader tools I've seen people use, which would be nice. I don't have those. You can do it with screwdrivers. I've done it in the past. Usually 1 or 2 is fine. Once you get it going, it kind of separates. Now, if you're pulling this thing apart and you know it's not coming apart easy, and you're kind of gonna feel like you're gonna break it. As long as that glue is warm and that lens is hot, not cool, the glue is soft. You'll be able to get it off. You just don't. We kind of got to find that balance point. You don't want it to be too cold and then you're cracking the lens. It should be hot. It should be hot. Like you shouldn't be able to just put your arm across this lens. It's gonna be hot. I mean, it's sitting at 275 for 10 minutes. Anyhow, yeah, you start working the corners. You pry your screwdriver into the glue here, and you just keep working at the corners. Let me show you the screwdriver. Make sure these tabs are back. But yeah, you just start working them, and then just keep working your way around. Get in there, pry it out. The glue's gonna kind of want to stretch and pull it back in, so you're gonna kind of have to keep tension on it at all times. And then once you get it going, it's where you start using your hands. You can kind of just pull it apart carefully. Just watch these corners. The glue's kind of like condensed in that area, so it's thicker. You don't want to break these corners off. So just be careful on the corners. Yeah, as long as you don't overheat this thing and leave it in for a long time, you're fine. If you realize that it's not hot enough when you're doing it because you just waited too long, throw it back in the oven, for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, however long you think. But you shouldn't have any problems if you just follow these steps. Hey, last thing on these headlights. Once you get this thing apart and separated the lens from the housing, you're gonna want to immediately start to scrape that glue that the dealership uses, or the manufacturer, sorry. Get all that glue out. We're gonna talk about different stuff you can use to seal it up, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm using today. It's not ideal. It will definitely seal, but it'll never come back apart. I don't plan on taking it back apart, so it's not a big deal for me. My daughter wanted to say hi. Hi. Adorable. She's gonna help me. All right, we're gonna throw the headlight into the oven. I'd recommend putting it on a cookie sheet of some sort, just to keep, the metal prongs inside your oven from, potentially melting into the bottom of the headlight. You do want your lens facing up, not down. You don't want it sitting on your lens, the metal. That wouldn't make sense. I'd burn it. So leave it up. I recommend wearing gloves. I'm not gonna wear them, putting them in, but pulling them out, I will 100% wear gloves. Okay, let's put it in. No. You still have more videos? You set the timer for 10 minutes. Why? And that's it. All right, I'm gonna pull it out of the oven. I turned the heat up a little bit, put 285, and I left it in for like 12 minutes. It seems to be the money. You live in like a different area, like barometric pressure is different, like Colorado, high elevation. The temperatures might be affected. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. I'll let you do that, but just know that oven cooks things differently at different temperatures. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and work my way around the lens, separating the glue. Kind of just walk it all the way around. Once you get it kind of opened up pretty good, then you can start to get your hands in there. The trick is to just kind of separate the bead. You'll kind of see a color change in like the glue and the lens, knowing it's separating from the base of the plastic. Also, when you're done separating the lens, immediately go into pulling the glue off of the base of the housing. The hotter it is, the easier it will be to get the rest of the glue out. Usually when you get it separated once, it's pretty much separated for the rest of the time. There's just gonna be little spots that you'll see you have to kind of reattack. I don't know if you can hear it in the video. You might be hearing the plastic separating from the glue. Good sign. All right, see how I kind of got that open now? At this point, you can just start walking the trim, the edges of it carefully. Plastic should be kind of malleable, kind of hot, so don't worry if you bend it a little bit. Just don't over pull in one spot. These Fords have, 250s have an edge right here that's very very glued. It's heavy in there. It's hard to get to. I leave that last and I separate it. I'll show you. I'll just show you. I separate it differently than I do these little other edges, these lips. Any other way, you're probably just gonna ruin the lens. All right, so you get to that point when it's kind of like clamshell, kind of claps. This is what I was talking about. Kind of take the two halves, try to separate them apart instead of like bending it apart, if that makes sense. There we go. All right. Do not let anything get inside this lens. You're gonna be pulling this apart. There's torque bits. But right now I'm gonna worry about getting this rest of this glue off while it's hot. Probably recommend setting those inside of your truck where it's dust free. But from here, you just want to pull off the rest of the glue while it's hot. Hopefully you get to peel off in big pieces. Yeah, I'll pick back up when this is done. We'll start the sanding and priming and painting. And I'll walk you through all the different stuff that I'm using and what you can use. Here's the small torque bits I was talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and remove those. And then I'll put the lens inside of the truck. That way it's, keeps dust off of it. All right, once you have both headlights disassembled and you have the pieces that you want to paint apart, and all the glue should be separated from the housing. All that's left now is to sand down the chrome or whatever else it is that you want to color match, and then put it back together. So for sanding, I'm mostly just going to use a 0000 steel wool. Doesn't take very much, just need to scuff it. I will say that the amber reflectors on the side of the headlights, a lot of people have not had success removing it without breaking it. I don't believe there's glue. There are little tabs in here. You can play with it if you want. I'm gonna leave it in and just paint it as is. So I see people do that with results. So I'm gonna do the same. Once I get this in down, I'll start talking about the primer I'm using and the paint I'm gonna be using. I am not doing a professional paint with actual automotive paint. I am just going to use a rattle can. A couple of reasons. One, I'm about to show you guys that you can actually have good results with it. Two, these aren't my permanent headlights. I'm going to be buying some different headlights. But I'll probably rock these for a little while. We'll see how it looks. All right, continue watching. All right, once you're done sanding them, they will look gray. Now I'll warn you, the inside of these things are a pain to sand. You almost have to like sand every little square. You're not gonna get it all. Do your best. The more time you spend on it, the better it'll look and last. I will be using in that section this self-etching primer. That should help penetrate that chrome that didn't get sanded or I couldn't reach, just to help keep the paint stick. Other than that, I would just use a sandable primer. I am using the color matched Duplicolor. It's for the Ford. Should be pretty close to what's on my truck already, this white. And then after that, I will be doing one of my favorite paint cans, Krylon Fusion. I'll be using their gloss clear. Never used their clear before, or their gloss, but their paint's amazing. I imagine it'll be pretty good. So right now I'm going to use some of the best in the industry de-waxer and degreaser solvent. It's by Total Boat. I use this on my boats. It does a very, very good job of removing any contaminants, oils, grease, something that's left behind, and letting it prep for paint. So Total Boat, they have a lot of good products. That's one of my favorite. All right, I'm going to start washing. Probably gonna throw on some gloves. With the total boat, if you go that route, you want to leave it on. You don't want to wipe it off. Let it do its job. So it's kind of got like a, not greasy, but like it applies kind of a little heavy. I mean, it's still a thin product, but you'll see what I mean. It'll feel like almost like greasy, but that's just it doing its job. Don't try to wipe out the grease. It will dry off. Just give it a minute and let it do its job. That's what it's designed to do. All right, I have them all wiped down. I'm going to start priming them. Go ahead and watch this time lapse and let's begin. Got all my coats on there. There's a little bit of something right there. Makes me so mad. Once it dries, I'll probably try and get it out. But yeah, this is fully primed. And I'll let this cure for 30, it says 30 minutes in the can. I'll probably do 30, 40 minutes and then apply my top coat. All right, this is day 2. So last night, a bunch of buddies came over, started drinking, and basically nothing got done. It was worth it. Anyway, next day, you see new uniform, new outfit. I got the primer all done. I'm going to now lay down the actual paint color. You guys can see the color I'm going with. All right, go ahead and watch for safety protection. When doing your paints, you want thin coats. Like, you will not have good solid color until 3 coats. Do your light coats over light coats over light coats. I was using the Stupid Color Perfect Match. I did one headlight already yesterday. It did not come out good. It did not match the paint at all. It could have been the clear I was using, but it kind of yellowed out. So I'm now going to what I've used before in the past that I even said earlier in the video, that this stuff is amazing. It's primer and paint in one, so it's actually pretty easy. Anyhow, yeah, so I went from this in the trash to now this. Okay, I just finished spraying the white on the headlights. It's gonna look good. And I'm gonna let them cure for probably about 2 hours. And then I'll start working on the glue. It's gonna go into the base of the headlight. We'll glue them together, put the lenses on them, and throw them on the truck. All right. All right, you see I got the lens here and then the painted housing behind it. I'm gonna go ahead and reattach, which is the fun part, putting everything together. To reattach them, there's 3 screws. They're Torx bit, very small screws. The Torx bit size is a T10, pretty small. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these back into the lens and tighten them down. Make sure when you put this together that this whole inside is cleaned out. I left mine in the truck, that way it wasn't dusty while I was working around the garage. I just kind of blew it out. I don't see anything in there. But yeah, I just want to make sure that it's nice and clean, because once it's sealed, you're not going to want to pull it apart just to clean some dust that you could have done while it was open. Okay, let's begin. All right, I'm going to carefully take the lens and the headlight and put it back together. Careful not to scratch it. The paint is still a little tacky, not terribly, but it is still tacky. You don't want to over tighten these either. It is just plastic, so just go real slow with it. All right, I have this mounted into the lens. That's your first look. Now I do have some yellowing on the headlight lens. Once this is all sealed back up, I am going to actually buff and polish this out. I could probably do another video on that. Yeah, this head lens is a little bit yellow, so it kind of discolors the picture, but it, from my view, it looks very, very, very good. So I'm happy with it. I like it. It's what I wanted. So it's gonna look great. All right, I have the lens and headlight that's painted together and ready to be attached, and I have the housing, the base housing with the actual headlight housing, not the turn signal housing that we did not paint. Still wondering if I should have painted, but I know I'm not gonna be able to see very well at night, so we'll go with safety over this one. Anyway, what I am using is a way to reseal these. Once this little groove has all been cleaned out, and I'm gonna kind of zoom in on that for you. You want to put either a butyl tape, which you can get on Amazon. It's like 12 bucks, 10 bucks, 12 feet, 15 feet, I think, for that much, for that price. Or you can go to like, any auto parts store and buy a 3M window weld. It's a urethane. This is a very permanent solution. I don't think you can heat this up and re-separate. There's a good chance that when I seal this with this, I will not be able to pull this apart. I don't know why I would ever really want to before I get the new headlights, and I'll probably just sell these to somebody or do a giveaway or something. Probably do a giveaway. Anyway, the butyl tape though is what I would recommend. It's cheaper, and it lets you heat it back up and take the headlights apart again if you need to. So I'd recommend that. Either way is fine. This is going to be excellent. It's nasty, sticky stuff, so you gotta be careful when you do it. I'll walk you through it, but yeah, you just don't want to get any clothes or anything. Those clothes will be shot. Okay, let's get this headlight together and seal it up. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you probably can't. This nice little bead all the way around, no gaps. You don't have to be a pro at caulking. Just got to make sure you get it in there. Give it a quick inspection. Make sure it's got a good bead everywhere. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm just doing it just to do it. Just running my finger across to make sure everything gets sealed good. Definitely don't want any moisture getting in there. Just make sure you're just getting good contact. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and make these two up, remarry them. Drop it straight in. You're gonna want to lock the tabs that bent back in place. Now you might need a heat gun to get these to straighten back out if you bent them out of the way. Not a big deal, it just, you might need them. Painter's tape does the job. Okay, baby. Here. So I'm working my way around. All right, I got this one done and taped. Looks like I got a good bead on everything. I don't see any like gaps. I'm gonna probably turn it upside down, throw some weight on it, maybe like 25 pounds just to help keep it sealed. And I'm gonna leave it for a few hours and then come back and check it. So, all right, we'll check back on this in 2 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and start the other one. All right, the headlights are all done. I'm getting ready to throw them on the vehicle, but here's what they look like. All right, let's put the headlights back in. We're ready, finally. All right, when putting in the headlight, don't forget, same as reverse, right? So you took it off, so now put it back on. Make sure your bulbs are in, connect your connectors, and then there's 2 push tabs on this side, and then your 1, 2, 3, 4 10mm bolts. Tighten them down. All right, we got both sides installed. Now what's left is the grill. As I said before, with the grill, a lot of people are breaking these emblems to get them off and paint them or wrap them, however they're doing it. I wrapped this one. It wasn't easy. I'm pretty good at wrapping. There are some small flaws. All in all, it came out pretty good for a wrap. Paint probably be a little bit nicer, and I might paint it later. Or put actually I'll probably do the lighted one. They have a lighted emblem. But anyway, so don't break your emblems. They're expensive, they add up. Go around the back side of it. And this is actually a bolt I gotta put on right now. And those little tabs right there, you just take a screwdriver or pliers and you bend them, focus, bend them away, bend it away, bend it away, bend it away. And then they literally fall right out. Now, however, I'll probably do a separate video. I'm just leave it at that. So when you have the emblem off, there's more involved into getting the pieces separated. All these little things can separate. I'll probably do another video on it. When I replace this one with the lighted one, I'm gonna do the video on that. People are doing it wrong. They're snapping their stuff and it looks like crap. Okay, anyway, continue watching. I'm gonna put the grill on and then we'll be all set. Snap together. And you got your 4 bolts. That's it. It's pretty simple. Not worth breaking your emblems for doing emblems. You can have this thing off in minutes. When putting your bolts back on for the grill, there'll be rings or marks from the old washer. Try to get them lined up when you tighten it down. That way, when you close the hood, you're not hitting your grill or anything. It works every time for me. It's been a flawless fit every time. Just line them up. Okay, she's all done.